lifestyle of most people in Perth. It's an ugly, unnecessary, and usually unlawful deviation from the easygoing, good-natured living that most people prefer. But these aren't most people. They're loosely called punks or punk rockers, and to them violence is simply part of their lifestyle. It certainly follows them around. At the Nedlands Park Hotel, they stopped off to buy more liquor after their river cruise ran dry. And then, with the band booking under an assumed name, the punks clashed with Northam's own Saturday night revellers. And the Perth Concert Hall management gritted its teeth and grinned after punks remodelled the front rows of the hall during a concert. But was the violence caused by outsiders, caused by the music, or simply part of the normal behaviour of these people? They're banned from many nightclubs and hotels and barely tolerated at others. So it was in the nature of an experiment that Adrian's nightclub opened on a Tuesday for a punks-only night with their favourite band, The Quick and the Dead.
You know, lots of people like to live in the day. They all walk around and they got nothing to say. Stick with me, baby, I'll show you how to fly. Rock and roll music makes the world go by. And another time. Oh, that's the right time. Oh, that's another time. Oh, that's the right time.
There's been so much stuff written in the papers that intentionally or not, leaves readers thinking that the Quick and the Dead are going around causing trouble, and that it isn't just coincidence that there's trouble at our gigs. The point that we've been trying to make, and we'll make it again, is that the trouble has usually been caused by other people, and innocent people have never been involved and never get hurt.
But on Tuesday night, there were no other people there. There were only skinheads and punks, and they caused plenty of violence and trouble on their own.
Oh, people were just having a good time.
The owner of Adrian's is a Perth psychiatrist, who so far has had an open mind about the role of punk rockers in Perth's nighttime scene.
We feel that Tuesday night was an experiment at Adrian's nightclub. There was an opportunity given to people who say that they are only destructive or aggressive because of the attitude that's displayed towards them by authority or by people in charge of premises upon which they are enjoying themselves. Now, on Tuesday night, nobody tried to do anything heavy to these people. The police didn't come and harass them. The people in charge of the club didn't harass them, and they were generally allowed to go their own way. Now, that was, as I say, in the nature of an experiment. The degree of damage we suffered to the premises is such that there is no way in which we could ever countenance the possibility of another night like Tuesday.
Only you will marry me, if only you will marry me, if only you will marry me.
At Adrian's on the punks' Tuesday night, things began quietly. The crowd was bigger than expected by the club manager, but for the first hour there was little tension. It was, after all, their club for the night, and it was their favourite band's last gig for a while. Then there was a bit of light horseplay, probably for the benefit of our camera, or maybe just for fun. But then, for no apparent reason, one youth found the evening turning nasty. This wasn't play acting. The youth was hurt, bloodied, and upset, despite an effort to shrug it off.
There must have been an argument or something.
I can verify that story. There was one chap that was going to intently throw a bottle at one of the members in the band, and he was restrained from throwing the bottle, and of course he got upset because he was stopped and couldn't understand why he got upset, and he started retaliating. And of course then he threw a swing at one of our security members of the band, which started it all off, and there was no way that he thought he was going to leave that place, so we just had to use our own security to get rid of him.
As the night and the music wore on, the mood changed.
particular group that were involved, although I didn't stay for a long time, didn't hear a lot of the music, played a very loud, energetic, aggressive type of music, which was not necessarily designed, but certainly had the effect of stimulating an aggressive response.
The experiment at Adrian's was a failure. After midnight, when our camera crew left, the nightclub was literally torn apart. Furnishings, plumbing and windows were smashed. Damage was estimated at over $5,000. It was not the sort of experiment that a profit-minded nightclub owner would want to repeat.
There was some damage done to the venue, and I think that was the fault of the organisers for not having security there to stop it happening. I don't think that there was any sort of very vicious damage going on. There was damage, but there wasn't any vicious intent on anyone's behalf. I saw tables getting smashed and chairs getting smashed, and I think that was just people enjoying themselves, and if Adrian's didn't want to do anything about stopping them, then good luck to them.
They must have an angry streak in them. Anger is always made a little less by destroying something. The expression, the outward expression of anger is destruction. So if you're furious about something and you throw a cup or a plate against the wall, it usually leads to a relief of anger. And I think these people get pleasure out of smashing things up.
There's nothing odd about anger. We all feel it sometimes. But maybe the difference between normal and abnormal behaviour is in how that anger is expressed.
There's often a thin line between madness and badness, but I think in this case people involved were just angry and aggressive, so they fall into the sort of badness category perhaps. And as I say, that doesn't necessarily mean they're all bad, they just have this rather aggressive trend.
Because of the way you dress and behave and the way you look, do you feel like misfits sometimes?
No, why should we?
I don't feel like misfits. You get the impression that people are looking at you, but I just laugh back at them.
We're dressing normal, other people dress abnormally like yourself. We're the people dressing normally.
You have different standards.
We've got our own high standards.
We've got, yeah, right, yeah.
Settle down to hate you.
Those high standards of Perth's punk rockers have so far failed to give the cult an accepted place in Perth's nighttime scene. After their efforts at Adrian's, they'll be once more left on the outside, looking for somewhere to rage. And while there may now be only a few hundred, and while media attention might only encourage them, there is the thought that they could be the beginning of something bigger and even less easy to live with. Anthony Burgess showed us one scenario with Clockwork Orange, and now another film offers this future view.
Marry me, we'll live a life of misery. If only you will marry me.